Hello everyone. In this session, let us understand what is a greedy match or what is a lazy or non-greedy match in terms of using the quantifiers. You know, when we use the quantifier asterisk, it endlessly repeats the preceding character n number of times. Or when we use a plus sign, it can repeat the preceding character one or any number of times. And also we have a curly brackets, and we can have minimum, maximum numeric digits we can provide over there. And then they will repeat the previous character up to the maximum number of iterations that we specify, and it will happen endlessly. There is no stop sign on that. So for example, if you use an asterisk, so it will endlessly repeat the preceding character, so it will be kind of a greedy match. And what I mean by that is, let's understand it by taking this simple example. Let's create a simple pattern, and this pattern is to capture the strings in between the x and y. Let us say we have a paragraph, and from that particular paragraph we want to capture all the strings that are in between x and y. So consider that we have a paragraph which has xx as a starting point, y as an ending point, and then we have some text also in between, but all we are interested in the text which is there in between xx and y. So consider a paragraph something like this. All the text or all the strings which are in between xx and y, those are the only ones which we want to retrieve from the paragraph in between the xx and y. So xx we can consider as a starting point, and y we can consider as an ending point, and everything in between we want to retrieve. Okay, for that we want to create a pattern. So let's just convert it to string quickly and then create a pattern here. So let's say we have a pattern something like, it will start with xx, okay, and then we want to retrieve everything in between xx and y. So we can simply use dot asterisk, right? We saw in the previous session, when we use a dot asterisk, then it will accept everything any number of times. So it doesn't matter what text is there, is it a character or a number or a special character, and doesn't matter how many number of times it is repeating, it will be considered when we use a dot star. Okay, so this pattern will satisfy the string that starts with xx, ends with y, and whatever in between is fine. Okay, now in this case we want to get the matches, so we will have to use a matcher, and we need to compile the pattern. So we'll use a pattern class from Java. So let's say pattern p is equal to pattern.compile, and we need to compile this regular expression pattern. And by using this p object, which is compiling this current pattern, we need to run it on the matcher. So let's say matcher m is equal to p dot matcher, and this is the string. And also we need to import the matcher from the regex. So over here all we are doing it, and why we are doing this is because so far we just used the string dot matches, because all we wanted to do is we want to see whether the pattern matches the string or not. But it is not the case now. Here we have a string which contains the patterns that we want. We have a string which contains multiple patterns. Not the string is not the whole thing that we want to match. We want to match multiple patterns from the string, so that's why we need to use this way. First we will create the object of the pattern class, and the way we create it is by using a compile on the pattern, and then that object from the pattern class we will use with the matcher, and for the matcher we are providing the string on which we want to run it. So now over here the matcher object will contain all the matches, if at all any. If this particular regular expression is able to match one or more portions of the string, then those will be part of this m object, the matcher object. Now what we can do is we can get the count first. Let us say we want to get how many counts are there. So we can simply do m dot results dot count, which will tell us how many number of times the match has happened. So in this case we can expect it to match like 1 and 2 and 3 number of times, right? Because we have 3 starting, 3 ending points here. Everything in between XX and YY is a match, right? So we are expecting 3 matches here, but it will not be 3. I'll let you know why. Okay, and that's how we will understand the concept of greedy and non-greedy. And after it matches, we just need to reset it. I'll let you know why. So we reset the M, and then to see the match, we can use a while loop. So while the matcher has the matches, so while matcher is able to find a match, all we need to do is, let's first get the starting point of the match. Okay, where we get the match, that's the starting point. We can combine it with a text here, starts at, that's the first match. And also let's get what is the text that is getting matched, what is the substring that is getting matched, so that we can get it by using m dot group, the group of characters that's getting matched as part of that particular match. Okay, now when we run this program, let's take a look at the output and let's understand it in a better way. Now over here it is saying that there is just one match. Okay, we were expecting 3 matches to happen, but it is saying just one match. It starts at 0th location, okay, because string starts at 0, that is fine. And the match is this. Now look at it. Starting at XX, ending at YY. So this is the XX, ending at YY, which is this one. So this is a greedy match. That's what I wanted to tell you. What is meant by greedy? When you say dot asterisk, it is matching everything from this place until this place. It is even matching these YYs in between. It is even matching these YYs, and it is taking those as part of the text. That's a greedy match. If you want to make it non-greedy, we will just put a question mark. And what does it mean is, whenever it sees the endpoint, which is currently a capital YY, it will stop it. Now in this case, when you run the program again, you see there are 3 matches as expected. First match starts at 0, and this is the one. Second match starts at 15th index, which is this one, and that's the match. And third match starts at 36th character, which is this one. So in all such cases, when we want to match, or we want to use a quantifier, but not in a greedy way, in a lazy way, where we have an endpoint, only up to that we want to get a match, then we can use it in a non-greedy or lazy way by using this question mark. When you add a question mark after an asterisk or a plus sign or a curly bracket, where we use the numeric expression, then it will make it non-greedy, and then in this way we can retrieve the exact matches that we want. Otherwise it will be a greedy match like complete that we saw. Okay, so in short, if you want to make a quantifier non-greedy, then simply put a question mark after that and it will be a non-greedy. Otherwise it will be greedy and it will accept everything. Okay, so this is about greedy and non-greedy, and it's a very important concept, important from interview point of view as well. And finally, about this reset, we used a reset in between the results count and m.find is because when we use results.count, then there's a pointer which moves from the 0th result to the nth result, and then after that if you try to find the match, you don't get any, because as I told you, this m object contains all the matches, and then when you use this m object to get the count, the pointer moves from first match to the last match, and then when you try to use the find actually gives you the next match, but as the pointer is on the last match from the group of matches, then we don't get any, and then over here we wouldn't have seen anything. So that's why we reset it. We reset the pointer to the first match, very first match from the group, and then we used inside the while. So that's the thing. So very important but very easy concepts again, and we will talk about some examples, some interview questions in the next session. Thank you.